The reality is that smartphones, the internet, social media, all of the apps on your phone have probably made your life a lot worse in many respects. And the flip side of that is that your life is a hell of a lot better. People complain about smartphones as if they are the issue and how the world was better off without them. I often complain about it myself, but in truth, what we're complaining about is our lack of discipline, our lack of willpower to control our habits. And we're instead allowing the phone to control us. I was chatting with a friend yesterday, and we were talking about the indulgent habits that we often have as humans, where we end up in this spiral of shame and guilt, eating foods that we know that we don't really want to be eating, or doing this and going on that website, being on dating apps excessively, or texting or checking to see if you have a text from the person you fancy. Let's be honest, that's what we're feeling bad about when we're complaining about phones and texting. It's not because our lover is texting us too often and we love it so much. No, we're complaining because we're not getting what we want out of life. And that's what this comes down to. It's not about the phone, it's about the human experience. And the phone is a technology that can be harnessed. When we don't have the discipline or the knowledge or the understanding of how to harness this device, what do? We shun it. We act as if it's the issue, and that if it weren't there, no issues would be there. If you find yourself anxiously awaiting an email or a text message and you keep refreshing to see if that person has contacted you, and each time you refresh it and they haven't contacted you, you end up feeling bad about yourself. Is that the phone's fault for not having a message there? Or is that your fault for continuously checking for a message that is not there? You see, when you look at it that way, it's quite interesting, because all of a sudden your enemy becomes an inanimate object. That's kind of what it is. It's just a thing that relates to other things that other people are relating to. So if the girl you're trying to go on a date with, or the guy you're trying to go on a date with, isn't interacting with their phone in the way that you want them to, then your phone's not going to interact with you in the way that you want it to. What I'm getting at here is that there will always be things that are not in our control. And there are many ways that we can reclaim our power, our autonomy, our sovereignty, without running into the woods and throwing all technology out the window. Making a living has never been easier. Like before the phone, you'd have to go out and knock on people's doors, or you'd have to stand on the street advertising yourself. Whereas now you can literally use your phone if you want, or get a camera or whatever, and talk about your interests and attract clients and attract an audience. And everybody that you're sharing your interests with are benefiting as well. So it's a win for you because you get to express yourself, and it's a win for other people because they get to learn from the skills and the knowledge that you have. Complaining about it doesn't make it go away, and once you actually start to harness it for your benefit, you'll probably shift your perspective on it anyway. And by the way, if you're interested in creating a high online income by pursuing your interests, on the 6th of January, I'm launching a cohort to teach you absolutely everything you need to know to make outstanding content, to build an audience, to do this for yourself. Just click the link below this video and you can learn a bit more about it there. So we've got this huge opportunity to create and grow, yet it appears that a lot of people are regressing. Anxiety levels have gone through the roof because we've got all of these stories about what text messages mean. You know, if somebody sends you 2 smiley faces, you think they're in love with you and they want to be the mother of your child. But if you get no smiley faces, you think that they hate you and they're cheating on you. And we just have become these masterful storytellers, except it's really to our detriment.
I've been trying to reach out to you all day. Are we on for tonight?
Sorry, dude. Missed your texts. I assumed we'd meet at the bar. Whatever. I don't care.
Sorry, dude. Missed your texts. I assumed we'd meet at the bar. Whatever. I don't care. The is his problem?
The argument against smartphones and all of this stuff is that the world was better before. So we're dreaming of this analog reality without realizing that if that were the case, you'd have to go to the library to take out an encyclopedia to find out what an iron splint is. Pretty much any negative that comes with this advanced technology, there is a positive that outweighs it if you just have the willpower to make a different decision. Instead of going on TikTok and mindlessly scrolling, you could just find an app that is geared toward helping your mental health and helping you regulate your nervous system. One such app is the sponsor of this video, and it's called Aura. I used to live in a yoga center, and that was in 2018, which is when I started to doing breath work and meditation, and it's been the one constant in my life since then, so pretty much every day. The reason I do that is because life is chaotic. My brain is overwhelmed a lot of the time. I have problems with people. I have problems with the business. We all have problems. And breath work for me is like a reset button that I can press at any point in the day. And it shifts me from a place of like perceiving problems to hopefully a place where I can perceive solutions. Aura is an app that has a bank of breathworks, a bank of meditations, hypnosis, ASMRs. There's all sorts of things there that you can personalize and tailor to your needs. It's completely free for you to trial it out. There'll be a link in the description. You can test it out, see if you like it. If you don't like it, just don't pay for it. No problem. If you do like it, there's a good discount there for you as well. I highly recommend introducing these tools into your life, or it can help you do that. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, check it out.
It sucks when life doesn't go away. I'm not denying that. But what I am suggesting is that rather than dwelling in that and blaming your anxieties and frustration on the gifts that you have in your life, why not access a different store within you? Instead of tapping into the digital vault, have a look outside. Realize that there's a hell of a lot more going on in the world than the phone in your hand. When you go out there, yeah, you're losing this thing, you're losing the perspective, text message or whatever, but you're gaining a different experience. And the truth is, this thing sitting here waiting for a message that may or may not come, it's not real. It's completely imaginary, and you probably have a story around what that text message means. If you get the text message and it's positive, you have a story that you are a worthy person. If you get a text message and it's negative, you're unworthy. If you don't get a text message, it's limbo and it's scary. I get it. And that's all valid and that's all normal and natural. But if you just go outside, the text message kind of just leaves your consciousness and you start to observe the trees in front of you. I was in the hills recently. It was quite snowy, quite lovely. Spent some time with friends. It was very grounding. You see, when we're excessively consuming, we grow stagnant and we lose our connection to self and to the world at large. Ironically, this thing that can reach everybody but ourselves. So if you find yourself excessively consuming, what about creating instead? Because when you're consuming, you're indulging. You're putting on weight, so to speak. And that's fine. We got to eat to nourish ourselves. I love watching content. You're watching content right now. I don't suggest you watch content all day, but every now and again, it's great. Wonderful way to educate ourselves, to entertain ourselves. But there comes a point where we need to exert some energy. Rather than consuming, we need to go out and move what we have consumed. So we need a certain amount of information, knowledge, food, calories, whatever you want to call it. But we also need to keep our system moving. We need to keep our mind moving. We need to keep our bodies moving. And if you're stuck to the couch after a 2.5 hour scroll session, when you know you ought to be writing a script or filming a video or exercising or working on your business plan, then you're going to start to feel guilt and shame. And that makes sense because you weren't made for that. The phone is a wonderful tool. It helps accelerate so many things. I work with people all over the world thanks to the phone and the internet and social media and all of these things. I love it. But it's so easy to get caught in a consumption spiral and lose all of that creative energy that I have because I'm not accessing it. When you don't access it, it's just like, oh, well, we're obviously not needed. This guy doesn't want my creative juices. So I'm just gonna, let it settle to the bottom. Then you gotta shake it up. It's like if you have orange juice with bits, you gotta shake your orange juice before you drink it. Otherwise the bits are at the bottom. And then you're gonna end up with an imbalance. And you probably notice yourself even half an hour before you stop scrolling, you start to notice that you feel like crap from scrolling. Yet you keep doing it because you got so much momentum in that direction. And it's hard to stop and overhaul yourself and do what you really know you need to do and what you want to do, what's going to help you create your ideal lifestyle. And that takes work and it takes effort, and that's why we struggle to start. That's why we struggle to get out the door and go and exercise. And that's why we struggle to, pick up a new skill, because it's slow growth at the beginning. That's really unattractive next to like a TikTok feed that's got so much cheap dopamine available for you to consume right there and then. But the thing is, if you don't have enough pain between the pleasure that you're experiencing, and I mean pain as in if you go for a workout, you're probably not enjoying all of the workout. Let's be real. There's challenge in exerting yourself that way. But by the end of the workout, you've experienced enough pain to really embrace that pleasure. And the thing is with the phone, a lot of the ways that we use it, it doesn't require any pain. You know, you just open up an app and there you have it. So when I say pain, it's not about being sinister. It's about doing something that isn't sexy, something that is kind of challenging, like meditating or doing breath work. I love doing breath work. I hate it at the same time because it's challenging, you know, for those 10 minutes or whatever that you're breathing. You could go out and hike up a mountain, and a lot of the journey of the hike is going to be strenuous and tough and like not enjoyable. People are like, oh, I love hiking. Have you ever actually gone hiking? It's really tough, but when you get to the top and you look down at the view or whatever it is, it's quite remarkable. But you can't get to the top without the long slog up. You can't grow your business without sucking at business first. You can't make good videos until you make bad videos. It's very rare that you're going to be able to just do everything right out the gate. And in fact, I don't think it's possible. Like, life's not as easy as opening TikTok and looking at funny cat videos or whatever you do. I believe in you. Have a great day. And if you want to join my newsletter where I send awesome newsletters that I write on the train, just kidding, I don't get in the train because I work from home. But, you know, you can get my newsletter that I write from home downstairs, down in the description. Bye.